Do you feel that a good childhood helps you be a good comedian or a crappy childhood?
It's crappy.
Right?
Crappy, yeah.
Crappy all the way.
Yeah. So did you have a crappy childhood?
Absolutely.
Well, he was
Give me an example of crap.
All right, he was just talking about his dad had a sweet dick.
Damn.
That's a crappy childhood. That's a crappy childhood.
I had to take showers with my brothers.
Damn.
We used to my mom put 3 of us in a shower.
Oh, we did it in the tub.
Yeah, but we were old.
4 or
we
5
were,
in a tub.
Yeah, but
one time.
Yeah, but
How-
then when
how
you're
old?
babies, though, right?
We made it probably to 6.
Yeah,
How
we
old?
were
7,
we were
maybe.
old. We were like in our teens.
Yeah.
And there was 3 in there?
No, my oldest brother, we would be 3 of us in a shower, and then my oldest brother, he stopped going. So I said, "Where's Joey?" to my mom, and she goes, "Oh, he's getting too old for that, so he's probably growing pubic hair."
Right.
So I'm guessing like 14, 15 he left.
Well, once you pop up a wet one, it's time to get out of that shower.
Yeah, pop up a wet one.
Yeah.
But we would literally wait in line we would have to wait for my brother to finish rinsing, then I'd go, and then
Rinsing, quote unquote.
Yeah, no, it's just
No one ever got an erection in the shower?
No.
But 14 or 15, and then
No,
you finally tapped out?
Yeah, we
But
were,
now
we were not kids.
Are you maxing out on that? That's what equated a crappy childhood.
No,
Mother
believe me.
forced us to shower together.
No, we had a bad. I'm Irish Catholic, 1 to 10. I had a classic bad. We weren't coal
Where did you
miners,
fall? Where'd
but we
you
had
fall?
bad. Third oldest.
Third oldest.
Yeah.
So in a pride of baboons,
Yeah.
the most pressure's on the number 1 baboon and the last baboon.
That makes sense.
Because the number 1 baboon's got to run the show.
Yeah.
And then the youngest baboon's always getting hit. Come on, keep up, come on.
Right.
The number 2 baboon has the least stress. Where does the number 3 fall?
No, what happened was my oldest brother and oldest sister, 1 and 2, they were like the king and the queen. They got their own bedrooms. I was like the beginning of the pack, of the middle pack. So I just had a classic like bad. I had to be responsible, but for like the younger kids, it was terrible.
How many in one room?
2. We had big houses,
Oh,
but
see,
but my oldest brother and sister they had their own room, so they were like treated
Yeah.
differently, like because they're the oldest, and then the youngers got treated. All the middle kids are basically fucked up. you know?
I was a middle kid.
When
I was
I-
7.
Yeah, because you're overlooked. They don't give a shit.
My
you
wife
know?
is the 11th of 11. Her hand-me-downs were from another generation. She was wearing like bell bottoms in 1992.
God
Yeah.
damn. Finally got to her.
Yeah.
We had 5 in one room for a while. All the
You
boys.
did?
Double bunk beds.
How
many in your
many
family?
siblings in
One
your
is-
family?
7.
Oh, you're 1 of 7 too.
But 5 boys, so it was all of us in one room for a little bit. Yeah. And
That must have been fun.
My younger twin brothers, they had to share the bed for, I don't know how old they were. They weren't, they were probably like 6, I would guess, yeah. And then
I mean, it's fun though, right?
and then they finally built out the house, and then we started getting almost our own rooms. Almost.
Built it out.
Built it out, took that fucking top floor off, and started building everywhere.
My wife's
adding
father
rooms.
took a chain and a padlock and locked the refrigerator
Really?
because the older boys would they would eat everything in the refrigerator. So he's
Sure.
like, ain't gonna happen. He just locked it up.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I'm confused. Is that considered poverty in your world?
What?
How you guys lived? Is that considered poverty?
I was fucking poor.
Oh.
We had no money.
I don't know. I don't understand white poverty.
Why?
I'm trying to learn. I just sleep with my parents, so I don't know.
You slept with your parents until what age?
Till I was like 12, maybe.
Oh my
13.
God.
Were you in the middle or were you in the end of the bed?
I was at a quarter. Where the feet are.
That's black poverty.
Did you sleep upside down? Did your head go where their feet were?
Yeah, I had to sleep. Like, I had to see my father's feet.
But wait, you had to sleep or you wanted to?
I had to sleep. I had no choice. I had to get ready for school.
Did you see
No,
your...
but wait, you don't have another bed?
No, we haven't been.
That's so weird. You could throw a mattress on the floor
Yeah, you can
somewhere.
sleep on the floor.
No, because my mother's like backside was warm, so you know.
Ah,
it was-
God.
I know.
Did you rest your head against it?
Did you feel your dad's morning wood too?
Her backside was warm. Like, I got a mental picture.
they only fucked on Sunday. They never fucked like when I was in the bed.
No, but you still get morning wood, and you got your 13-year-old fucking kid in the bed still.
Wait, how you know they only had sex on Sunday?
My father told me.
He told you to get out?
I never went in there when they were fucking because they had a weird smell. But I was I waited until like 9 p.m.
Wait, so your father told you when you slept in the bed, he said, keep it clear on Sunday?
Yeah,
Wow.
black poverty.
That's black poverty.
Now, where did you grow up?
I brought Brooklyn,
Brooklyn. Land of the Three Stooges, right?
Flatbush.
Yeah, and who kid does very well for himself. He travels the world now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to follow him on Instagram, Bruce, if you want to see.
Why do you do Instagram? I can't copy those pictures.
Huh?
It pisses me off on Instagram.
Why?
Because it's so proprietary.
These are my pictures. Copyright. Famous person.
Shut up. Give
you
me
got a
that.
screen
Everywhere
grab.
else I can copy those pictures.
You get a screen grab of it.
Oh, that's right.
That
Good
works.
point.
Screen grab that shit.
And you know, Getty Images, man, they got their dirty little hands all over everything.
yes.
Bruce, the next session is a Getty image session. I'm like, for what article?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a session.
Yeah.
It's just an image session. So then if someone goes, we need some photographs of Bruce Campbell from 2015.
And then they go to Getty Image.
Yep. And then if you don't copy those pictures like the next day from your little premiere,
Sure.
it'll have that watermark all
Yeah,
over it.
the big Getty Image. There's Whoo Kid's Instagram. There you go.
I mean, I got all the Kardashians naked on my shit.
Oh, geez Louise. What's going on?
What do you mean you got
there?
him naked? You didn't get him naked.
I got one of them with the titties out. I got one of them with the pussy out. I even got the mom's pussy.
Have fun with that.
I did.
You got Kris Jenner's pussy?
I love it.
You seen it?
Smell like I don't know, like cream of wheat. You ever had cream of wheat?
Yes. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
poor thing
It's
to
the
eat.
best.
I used to love cream of wheat.
It smelled like it too.
So talk to Bruce Campbell. You're a huge fan. You're freaking out in the hallway.
Well, you know,
Want to talk about Ash versus Evil Dead or what?
yeah. Speaking of black people, the way I caught his movie was, you know, I went to this obsolete spot called Blockbuster, and when you go into like the horror section, it's usually when you run out of movies to rent, you go to the horror section.
Right.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. There are
people-
some people who go right to the horror section. That's not the last on their list.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger ran the hood, you know, the niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? So the niggas used to always get Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, like, because he had all the action movies and stuff.
And there was always like 200 copies of that film. Jesus.
So I ran into Evil Dead, and I just couldn't believe the shit that I saw, and it scared the fuck out of me.
That was the idea.
It scared the shit out of me.
You talking about the very first Evil
First,
Dead?
super first one with the fucking demon, exaggerated head
It's
chopping.
36 years old now.
No.
1981.
79 is when we shot it. It took 2 years to finish the goddamn thing.
What?
Yeah, we shot it in 1979. We made one in the 70s, one in the 80s,
Right.
and one in the 90s.
Oh, that's 1979. You guys started filming that?
Yeah,
Oh, my
Why
God.
did it take 2 years?
because we kept running out of money.
It was exaggerated gore, head
Sure.
chopping, but it was extremely scary.
And black people love scary
Yeah, I
movies.
couldn't sleep at night because of this fucking
42nd
movie.
Street was awesome watching Evil Dead.
Yeah?
Don't go in there, motherfucker! Don't touch that door, motherfucker! And then when he's finally, I told you, motherfucker, don't go in there! Midnight and 42nd Street was awesome.
Are you allowed to say that these days? Who kid knows it's true? You guys shut the fuck up in the movie theaters, please.
Those are the best times.
Well,
Horror
what it is,
movies
it's
and
like a
prostitutes.
commentary track with 200 people.
No, it's okay if
Doing
it's a
their own.
It's okay when it's a horror movie, but when it's just some basic who gives a fuck film, that's when maybe you could be a little quieter. Please.
But you know what? We didn't mind it when they would trash talk because we knew what was coming.
Yeah.
We knew they were going to eat their words in about 3 seconds. And then there'd be pandemonium.
Did you really sit in the back and watch that?
All the time. All the time. The reactions were great. A bunch of football players came in
Yeah.
and watched a show, and they were sitting there being all tough and everything. And whenever there was a scare, they would punch each other. Like, you were a pussy. You got afraid. No, I didn't. You got afraid. So they were punching each other for the whole show. Another family at a New Orleans screening of Evil Dead Part 2, the guy was with his young children, which was a horrible mistake. And he'd bring him in with his wife, and they'd sit in the back row. And then they go, oh, shit, something horrible would happen. And they'd run out to the lobby.
Yeah.
And then I'd watch, and the dad would poke his eye in first. He'd poke his head in. Okay, kids, it's okay. Come on back in. They were going in and out and in and out the whole time. Another couple watched the original Evil Dead with a coat over their head.
Yeah.
And they watched it through a sleeve of the jacket, so they could watch only the parts that they wanted to see. And it was too horrible. They would close it off, and then the guy's hand would poke through again to open it up. It just went on for the whole movie. It's sometimes it's better to watch the audience than the movie.
See, Kevin, your brother was right. Black people know how to have fun.
They really do.
They do know how to have fun.
No, when the first Halloween came out, my roommate, or not my roommate, but a guy in the college, I heard he couldn't take it. He ran out of the theater.
Well,
And I
Evil
thought,
Dead
but it
2
made me think I got to see this movie. But then I was like, what made him leave the theater?
Well,
Like,
but me too. I followed two guys. They ran out. We had a scene called the eyeball flyball in Evil Dead 2 where I jump on a trap door. It squeezes a zombie's head, and the eyeball flies out and goes across the room and goes into a chick's mouth, and she swallows it. So that was the eyeball fly ball. Two guys got up and they ran out of the theater. I went, I just want to see what they're talking about. So I followed them out. They were laughing so hard they were slapping each other on the back. They couldn't even get their breath back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
That's awesome.
that's working. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want people to freak out at your movie.
But did you know that it would be a cult classic though? Like
We
filming all that?
we didn't even know if we were going to finish the thing. We got help by Stephen King.
Oh, wow.
Along the way, we got a couple of lucky breaks. Stephen King saw it in Cannes at the festival there, and he called it the most ferociously original horror film of the year. And we're like, hey, that's not a bad quote. And we got a hold of him, and we asked him if we could use it. And he said, yeah, but you got to say of 1983. You can't just say of the year, because then it'll be a perennial plug. So that helped a lot, because then all the reviewers went, hey, we like this movie too. I mean, we got
jumped
savage.
on Stephen King's back.
They did.
Oh,
Because,
gosh.
hey, in the early 80s, Stephen King was Stephen King.
Yeah, they were.
He
on
helped
his
us
dick.
on Evil Dead 2.
Right.
We're trying to get money for Evil Dead 2. We couldn't get it. We were doing pre-production down in North Carolina somewhere. And someone we were trying to hire on the movie, we told her, like she was an AD, we can't hire you because we don't have any money. She goes back to work on Maximum Overdrive with Dino De Laurentiis,
Sure.
Stephen King's thing.
Yes.
Well, he goes, hey, what are you doing? I'm trying to work on Evil Dead 2, but they don't have any money. Stephen King goes, hey, Dino, you should finance Evil Dead 2. We had a deal in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Dino's one of these old school guys. He goes, You go into his office, a desk, it's a block big with lions' heads. He was big on lions everywhere. So he'd go,
How much did Evil Dead make overseas?
because that was his bag. We were like, a lot.
Okay.
And we'd slap his hands, and the deal was done.
Wow.
Schwarzenegger got in trouble with him. He walked into that office and he goes, why does such a small man have such a large desk? Dino goes, he's a Nazi. Get the Nazi out of my office. I'm Austrian. He's a Nazi. So that delayed the project for about 6 months.
Nah.
Yeah, because Schwarzenegger made fun of his size. That was Schwarzenegger. He's a bit of a joker, that guy.
He was all right in here. He was all right.
What-
We finally got him on the show. He was all right.
I got a question though. Why did y'all go from horror to comedy like that, and then it became even more popular
Well,
on Army of Darkness?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like torture porn. Where you put a guy's dick in a vice and poke it with a stick for half an hour.
yeah.
It's kind of lazy filmmaking.
Yeah.
We didn't want to make the same movie again. We made Evil Dead, made some money. We thought, let's make a completely different movie called Crime Wave. It was written by the Coen brothers. It'll be action, romance, comedy. There was no blood in it. That thing never even got released.
Wow.
I mean, this thing died. It died on the operating table. So we were like, shit, Ash died in Evil Dead. What if he didn't die? So then we brought that back. The guy who co-wrote Evil Dead 2, his name's Scott Spiegel. He knew everything about the Three Stooges. We talked to Larry Fine at the old actors' home.
Oh, no
That's
kidding.
crazy.
We had to do the time difference between Michigan and Los Angeles. We're like, oh, okay, Los Angeles, three hours different. That's it. So we called him at 10:30 in the morning. We figured he's up, had his crap, he's had his prunes, whatever he's had, and then he's around. And he took calls directly in the old actors' home.
Wow.
So we would talk to Larry, and so it was a big influence with Scott.
Was he still there? Was he still with it when you called him?
Well, he had a stroke, so he sort of talked like that. But he sounded like Larry. Oh, sure, you had to get hurt a little bit, but the pain goes away on payday.
So he had the quotes, he had it all.
He was Larry. And you could tell he sounded just like Larry, only slowed down a little bit.
Wow.
He's a middle child, right, Larry?
I don't know. Larry Fine.
I would assume so.
He was the non-Howard. The Howard brothers, Mo Howard,
Yeah.
Jerry Howard, or Curly, and
Yes.
Champ Howard. Larry was the only one who was not a brother.
I got to take this call. I don't want to lose him. Russ in Iowa, go ahead. We got Bruce Campbell in the studio.
Yeah, I went to watch a double feature of Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, The Army of Darkness. I got kicked out of Evil Dead because I was laughing my ass off.
It
That
serves
thing
you
was
right. That was a
hilarious.
drama.
Were you on acid? It says you were on acid.
I might have taken some. I believe I did, but I watched it again just to make sure. I love that movie.
Now, you know, the first one, sir, is not meant to be hardy har har funny.
Well, that's why I asked about
Exactly.
the acid. I think the acid made
The
it a
acid,
funny
I
movie.
think, tipped it over the edge.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
again, I watched it again, and it's still hilarious because who fights with their hands in a damn horror movie? That thing was hilarious.
You're talking about
Thrown
Evil Dead
through the
2.
street.
Yeah.
You're talking about Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 1 was a failed melodrama.
Did
We
Larry,
can't bury Shelley. She's a friend of ours.
Did Larry Fine think it was hilarious? Evil Dead?
Yeah, wait a minute. You didn't fight your hand in Evil Dead?
I did in part
At all?
2.
He's saying part two.
Part 2.
Well, then I have to amend my story. It was Evil Dead 2.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad
now
we
I look
cleared
like
that
an
up.
idiot.
No, where
Yes, thank you for your input on that.
You should go home and take some acid.
I think so.
Nowhere I know Bruce Campbell from lately because I got two young kids.
Uh-oh. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
You were the mayor in that damn
Nice.
thing. And I've seen that movie probably 200 to 300 times. Thank you very much, Bruce Campbell.
Hey,
What movie?
you know
What
why
movie?
actors do animation?
Cloudy with a chance of meatball. It's actually a really. I thought it was going to be one of these dumb throwaway
It was
kid
pretty well
movies.
done. It was pretty well done.
I didn't mind seeing it the first 20 or 30 times.
I think there's a 2 and a 3 too, right? There's a part
two.
There's a
at least.
2.
I think just a
There's
two.
a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, actors do animation because kids will watch it over and over.
again.
And so your residuals just, you get like $12 for the rest of your life doing any crappy animation.
just over and over again.
Yep. Because kids will just go,
Hey, watch it again.
Yeah. But,
just like adults. Adults do that now too.
yes, Justin, raising your hand over there.
I have an Ash versus Evil Dead question.
Sure.
So why'd you do a TV show? How come they didn't make another movie?
When you say they, I'm they.
How come you didn't want to do another movie? How come you want to do a TV? How come you want it to be a TV show?
Let me give you a little historical background.
Yeah.
A movie called Army of Darkness came out in 91.
Right.
Well, we shot it in 91. That also took 2 years. When it came out, it died 1,000 deaths. It
the third one did?
Third. It cost $13 million. It made $13 million. I'm not an accountant, but even in Hollywood practices, that's a losing
Not
venture.
good, right.
You got to make 3 times your budget
Right.
to break even, traditionally. So we didn't. That thing failed. That's what everyone forgets. Why didn't you make another movie? Because we couldn't get. No one would give a shit after that movie. Nothing. I starred in one studio feature my entire life, my entire career. One movie. I starred in a Universal Studios movie, Army of Darkness, and I have not starred in a studio movie since. So it died.
Right.
And so that's what most people forget. But then the DVD craze came in. Anchor Bay Entertainment, company in Michigan. They went to Universal and they sub-licensed it because Universal was going, it's a widget. We'll just put these DVDs out. And they just stamp them. They don't do anything. And so they were selling okay, but they sub-licensed it. They did the missing scenes behind, the commentary, the making of, storyboards, all that crap. They sold 48 different versions of Army of Darkness. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. They've got so many versions out, and it brought it back from the dead, literally. So it was kind of resurrected over a long period of time. Sam Raimi, since that time, goes on to make, big movies like Spider-Man, gigantic movies. So are we going to make a $200 million Evil Dead movie? It sounds like a mistake. I mean, a serious mistake.
Right.
Well, it made $13 million, but it cost $200 million.
Yeah.
And so Rob Tappert and I, our third partner, we thought, well, we're TV guys. I'd finished Burn Notice for 7 years.
Yeah.
We sort of had it in our blood.
Right.
TV makes sense. You don't fuck around TV. You get there, you shoot it, you're done. By noon, someone's died in your arms. You shot the bad guy, and little Billy got his medicine back. I mean, television moves fast, and I like it. Features you want to hang yourself when you work on a big feature.
And then you got to wait a year or so just to even see the finished product. That's got to be strange. For
And then you
guys.
got to promote for a year.
Right.
We're gonna handcuff you to this private jet, and you're just going everywhere.
It's a private jet, though.
Yeah.
Yes, but Mark Ruffalo.
Well,
That's black.
that's our world.
That's hot.
Dear Mark Ruffalo, I like Mark Ruffalo because he tweets about saving the world,
Yeah.
but then every other tweet is, See the Marvel movies. These movies use the most wood. They build the biggest sets. They use the most gasoline. They promote in private jets, which is the worst offender as far as gasoline and shit like that. So, Mark, you got to be careful, man.
Are you saying he's full of shit?
I'm saying there's a slight, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. That's the safe word.
Yeah.
I got a question for Ash. Is it weird for me to look at the blood hitting the Pablo character like over and over again in a sexual way? Why does it look kind of sexual in a new TV show?
Well, you could make that distinction because of various liquids flying through the air that could be construed as something else other than blood if you were a twisted son of a gun.
Yeah, I was looking at like a little bit of horror in somewhere in Iowa. It kind of reminded me like the stuff going on the face. I don't know.
Well, you could go there.
He keeps going there.
You want to do?
The connection was real.
He's your biggest fan too.
I appreciate any reason why people watch these movies. I don't really care why you watch them.
Did you master insanity, like doing all these films? Like you look like you do it very well. Are you crazy, like in real life? You kind of mastered it. Like
no, you know
look
what?
Like you're a crazy motherfucker.
No, I show up on time.
Okay.
I know my lines, most of them.
I'm talking about your acting skills, the way you mastered like going crazy when it's like.
Oh, we're going crazy. We have a director named Sam Raimi. He drives you crazy. So he's really just capturing the crazy that he's forcing you into. Like I'm tied in Army of Darkness. We're shooting a special effects scene, and then there's two of me, so I have to be strapped to a pole. This image that's on your computer right here.
Yes.
In order to get that, I'm strapped to a pole, and I have to look over at what's going to be my other face. So I can't move. And this took about an hour to strap me and set this up. We can't find Sam. Where's Sam? From behind me, I feel a 2x4, and I'm not kidding. It's a fucking 2x4 hitting me in the ankles. He's snuck behind the whole set, and he's poking me in the ankles going, "Are you ready for this, buddy? Are you ready for this shot, pal?"
What?
Yeah, he goes to direct Quick and the Dead. I go, "Sam, you gonna hit Gene Hackman with a fucking 2x4? Leonardo DiCaprio, you gonna poke him with a stick? Sharon Stone, what are you gonna do to her? Pinch your ass just before the take? I mean, my God." But this is how he does it.
That's funny.
Like here's how directors, you hear these directors coddling their actors.
Yeah.
"Oh, that was such a wonderful take." Mm-hmm. Sam would go, "Well, that was great for somebody else's movie." Or you do another take, you go, "Bruce, that was great if this was a mini series."
You don't want to hear that.
Well, I've known Sam so long, there's no point.
Right.
There's no point dancing around it. I'm not using that take. I can't use that take. Somebody else might use that take.
Do we really have to wrap up? For real? You got a lot of press today, Bruce.
Well, there you go again.
That's what he did last night.
I said that already.
When you did that Reagan, that was
You weren't
it.
in studio.
There
He came in as
you
Reagan.
go again.
I
He was
know.
Reagan on Fargo last night.
I saw it. Big fan.
Oh, you asked your question?
I know.
Now get the hell out of here.
I work here.
I work here.
Yo, Opie,
You have to go. I work here.
before he leaves, weed was the reason why the demon came back. This guy fucking got high.
I live in Oregon.
Holy shit.
How is Oregon? It sounds like an amazing place to
I know a
live.
little something about that. I got my first medical card.
Yeah.
Because doing movies, I've actually fucked myself up good enough. I can bullshit my way through medical card.
marijuana.
Yep. Planted my plants on my property. Sheriff's helicopter comes over. See the big star on the helicopter. Hovers over my grow operation. They probably check the paperwork.
Right.
I got a laminated thing down by the grow op. This thing banks and goes away. I never saw it, nothing else. I'm like, God bless Oregon. And then they went full legal. They just went 21 legal.
How many states are we up to now?
3. Colorado, Washington, and Oregon.
It's gonna be-
California, can you believe it? Those dumb shits. All they have to do is search and replace.
Right.
Take Colorado in the great state of California and just search and replace. Just do it. Because what Colorado did is they said, it's beer. It's not in your car. You can't be drinking it. You can't have some open shit in your car. Same thing.
Right.
They just treated it just like that.
That's crazy.
Which will be the last state, you think?
The last state?
To legalize.
Oh, we're talking your South Carolinas, your Dakotas, your Wyoming.
Texas?
Texas, there's a bunch of dope
he's gotta
smoking.
go. Fuck.
There's a bunch of dope smoking shit kickers in Texas.
Yeah.
So no, they might get it. It'll be Wyoming will go last because it'll be Dick Cheney going over my dead body, and it might just be.
With that, we got to thank Bruce Campbell for coming in.
Thank you very much.